How's it going, everyone? With us officially into 2022 and PlayStation Plus freebies going to be as big of a topic as ever, especially this year with the rumored introduction of a subscription service that will rival Xbox Game Pass. Well, let's not push the cart before the horse on that yet. However, in this video, I do want to take a look at 10 games I'd love to see on PlayStation Plus in 2022. Now, with some of these games, maybe I am pushing it a little bit too much as far as, a game being on PlayStation Plus. However, you have to think it's the entirety of the year, and just this month, in January, PlayStation Plus gave out Persona 5 Strikers, and that was a game that came out back in February of 2021, I believe. February. So throughout the entire year, some of these games are going to lose their value, and if you add them onto PlayStation Plus, could give them a little bit of a jolt. Nevertheless, got 10 games here, and I'd like to know what you guys would want out of PlayStation Plus in 2022. Try to keep it realistic. One of these games in particular, I think people are just going to be like, yeah, you're high. You're definitely not getting that game, and I am going with games that, as of the recording of this video, are already out. Trying to predict games that are going to come out this year and then also end up in PlayStation Plus, that'd be a little bit difficult. So, gonna stick to games that are already out. So, first up, this is a game that I've been mentioning in a few videos that I think should be on PlayStation Plus at some point, and that is Hunt Showdown. Crytek's multiplayer title I think would do really, really well on PlayStation Plus. I am just a big advocate for games that are multiplayer-centric to be on PlayStation Plus, because guess what? If you play multiplayer games, you have PlayStation Plus, and your buddies probably have PlayStation Plus, and you guys can jump into a game like Hunt Showdown together and have a good time. Now, the PlayStation 4 version of Hunt Showdown wasn't ideal. Not as good as the PC version from a performance standpoint, but still solid, and to see it as a PlayStation Plus game, I think people would enjoy it quite a bit and have a great time with it, especially when it would be an easy convince for getting your friends to download it as well. Alright, number 2, we have Dreams, this Media Molecules creation title, their game creation title. It's a game that already goes for relatively cheap at this point. It went on sale, it goes for like $10, and I'd like to see Dreams get more attention because it's a really great game, but it just doesn't have that level of buzz. There's definitely a hardcore community attached to the game, but I think if you introduce Dreams sometime this year as a PlayStation Plus offering, you would get an influx of people checking out the game for the first time, seeing all of the creations, and realizing that it's a great game in its own right. And I think it would do really, really well from that standpoint as well. And again, it's not like it's a game that's incredibly expensive anyway. It sells for $10 on sale. As a Plus title, I think would be pretty solid. Number 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake. This came out in 2019, so it's been a couple of years since RE2 Remake came out, and Resident Evil is as hot as ever with, Resident Evil 3 Remake was okay, but Resident Evil Village I thought was tremendous. For those that didn't check out Resident Evil 2 Remake, or they haven't jumped into the Resident Evil wagon yet, I think Resident Evil 2 is a great way to get them on board, and again, this is another game. While Resident Evil does have mass IP appeal, it's not like RE2 Remake is a game that's incredibly expensive anymore. On sale, you'll see it go for like $16, so it's not like that's too tall of an ask, and it's a game that I think would come to Plus. There's a group of people that would really like to check it out. I do think some people would be upset just because, it was a game that did relatively well when it came out from a commercial standpoint, and I'm sure some people own it or have already played it. But it's a very good single-player game, and I think people would be happy with it, especially if they haven't played it. Next up, another multiplayer title, Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, you can play Divinity Original Sin solo, but with a co-op aspect added onto it, a very good offering. And if you want to talk about games that you're going to get the most mileage out of, in terms of, giving the players a game with a ton of content, Divinity Original Sin 2 is definitely that, with a lot of replayability, high-quality gameplay, great storytelling. Yeah, you can make the argument it's better play with a keyboard and mouse, and I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but it works well enough with a controller, and I think people would be really into it. And the game was received incredibly strongly on PC, but I feel like it hasn't gotten that recognition as much on PlayStation 4. Seeing it as a PlayStation Plus title, I think would get a lot more people into it, and I think it would be a great addition to the Plus library. Next up, we have one of the most popular IPs. I'd like to see Dark Souls Remastered as a PlayStation Plus game. Now, obviously, all eyes are going to be on Elden Ring come next month, and offering Dark Souls as a PlayStation Plus game in February to get more people into the Souls franchise, don't think that's a bad idea at all. However, I do think there's a lot of people at this point, I would say the majority of people, have at least tried a Souls game and have, gotten an opinion on whether or not they like it, but you gotta remember, there's a lot of people playing video games, and with a Dark Souls, it's a game that does have a mass IP appeal, but at the same time, I do think there's a lot of more casual consumers that have not played Dark Souls, and you know, you can offer Dark Souls 2, you can offer the other Dark Souls games. However, if you're offering like Dark Souls 1, well, it's gonna make people think, hey, this Dark Souls 1 probably a good starting point. They'll give it a chance, and if they really like it, Elden Ring is gonna be one of the biggest games of 2022, and what better way to elevate it than by offering Dark Souls 1 as well? Just food for thought. If it's offered sometime later in the year, it'd be great as well. You can never go wrong with a Souls game being on PlayStation Plus. And Dark Souls Remastered, I do think, would be a solid offering. Next up, how about Ninja Gaiden Master Collection? This is one that came out back in June of last year, had a little bit of buzz going into the release of that game, but saw a digital-only release and then kind of fell off. Still goes for a premiere price point, don't get me wrong. When it goes on sale, still like 30 bucks. It released at 40, but with this, you got Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3. They are solid action games that, you know, at times do show their age a little bit, but I think as a plus offering a collection of 3 games, that would get people excited. And hey, if they want to do a new Ninja Gaiden game in the future, this would be a great way to get the name out there about the franchise as well. And, you know, the collection had a little bit of a mixed reception, but I think as a plus offering, people would get behind it quite a bit. Next up, Dying Light 1. Dying Light 2 is right around the corner, but sometime later this year, I think offering Dying Light 1 would be a solid game just to add in there. And, you know, I wouldn't offer it in February just because Dying Light 2 drops like February 4th, and you don't want to have a conflict of interest there with people downloading Dying Light 1 and then, you know, being busy with that game and not buying Dying Light 2. No, let Dying Light 2 come out, wait a couple months, let some content be added to Dying Light 2, and then throw Dying Light 1 in like May, June, July, sometime then. Get people to play it, they'll probably really enjoy it, and then that'll be a good gateway for them to also check out Dying Light 2, which by, you know, June, July at that point, Dying Light 2's sales will slow down a little bit, but offering Dying Light 1 as a plus title might jolt it up a little bit, and you're offering a great game. It's a double win. So I think that's pretty good. Next up, one of my personal favorite games that I always talk very strongly about, saw a lot of buzz on PC, not as much on PlayStation 4 and 5. That is Disco Elysium: The Final Cut. This is a story-driven game that has incredible writing, a lot of decision making in the game as well. That leads it being very replayable and a very mature story as well. Unfortunately, came out to a ton of buzz on PC, was getting 9.5s, 10 out of 10s. Came out on PlayStation, saw a little bit of buzz, but has tapered off a little bit, and I'd love to see more people try it out because I think so highly of the game. I love story-driven games, and Disco Elysium is a notch above a lot of those, and I think highly about a lot of the Telltale games, but Disco Elysium has such great writing, such great character development, great sound design as well. Just can't say enough praise about Disco Elysium, and if you are even remotely into story-driven games, this would be a phenomenal addition to the PlayStation Plus library. Alright, number 9. This is one that people are going to be like, bro, are you high right now? What about Returnal on PS5? Yes, I know, this is a game that's still going for like 50 bucks at this point, but at some point, one of the premier PlayStation 5 exclusives are gonna drop as a PlayStation Plus title. Yeah, you could do Miles Morales, but that game is a game that I feel like everybody that got a PS5 got, and it's on PS4 as well. Returnal is the one Plus title, or excuse me, the one PlayStation 5 title that people that own a PlayStation 5, I know a lot of people that skipped it. Ratchet & Clank, a lot of people picked up. You know, these games coming out, Horizon, God of War, those obviously are not going to be on Plus this year, but Returnal came out, it got decent reviews, but it also got a little bit of criticism, and the game since its launch has done a lot of updates and fixed a lot of the complaints about the game. So offering it as a Plus title sometime later in the year, I'm not saying in the next few months because the game is still, you know, a premier title, but say come July, August, September, at that point, you're a year and a half removed from the release of the game. I think throwing it in as a Plus title would offer a lot of goodwill to the people that didn't pick up Returnal, maybe that are picking up a PS5 in 2022. Hopefully, some of you guys can get a console if you know, missed out on it, but at the same time, I just think it would be a nice addition to the Plus library, and I don't see a lot of people really talking about picking up Returnal at this stage of the game, so I think it would be a fairly nice addition. And lastly, number 10, this is kind of just a personal addition of mine. I don't think it's going to be added. However, I really loved Ruined King League of Legends story last year. I thought it was a tremendous game that, yes, did appeal to me a little bit more because I did play League of Legends a lot back in the day, but even as a story-driven RPG, it's a very good game with a very good story, a great cast of characters, great character development across the characters, and the story is very good as well. Turn-based RPG. A game a lot of people will enjoy. I just don't know if Riot is gonna be in the business of offering their games as a part of a subscription service, but hey, if financially it makes sense, I'm sure they'll do it, and the people that wanted to check out League of Legends story, if they were League fans, probably already picked it up, so why not expose a new audience to the deep lore that League of Legends has to offer, and how are you gonna do that if the game is still going to be a $30 buy-in? You want to get people to know, hey, you don't have to play these Riot Forge titles by just being a League of Legends fan. Anybody can play the Riot Forge titles, and that's going to be a good gateway to promote other games like the new game that's coming out, the Echo game that's coming out. You want people to know that you can play these games without having a lot of affinity towards League of Legends, but these games will get you attached to the characters. That's just my opinion. I think it would be an effective strategy, but that's going to do it for me. Those are my 10 games that I think should be on PlayStation Plus in 2022. Obviously, you can pick a bunch of different games. These are the 10 that popped out to me. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know your picks, but that's going to do it for me. Sound off down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.